But if you have these extra and fine details, that means you become an expert. And if you know how to articulate these particular fine and extra details, you're definitely the expert on this topic or this activity like running. These are the Michael Jordans or the Stephen Kings of the world that know their craft so well. They know the ins and outs of everything. This is what makes the person the expert. They know those fine details. They know how to tie them together, how to connect all the dots together, and then present it in a way that everyone is in awe. This is the level that all of us really want to get to. And there's a way to get there if you practice hard. If you learn how to do this, if you learn how to practice all of these levels and you stay persistent and you keep on building upon the knowledge and the experience that you have, then you can get to this level. Here are 3 levels of learning to help you study and remember what you learn. Now, I want you to imagine your learning like building a house. You have a foundation of the house. Without that foundation, your house would crumble into the ground, maybe a sink if you're on unstable ground or like a slope or something like that, right? That would not be good if you don't have a foundation. And then you've got the framework and the walls and the interior and also your furniture and bookshelves and beds and electronics, which make your house whole and keep you safe from the weather and everything. And you can sleep, you can have a refrigerator, like it's all of your essential things that you need in your house to survive. And then the level on top of that is the accessories, the things that you don't necessarily need to survive, but are nice to have for your own entertainment or to make your house look even better when you have guests. Those are like the little flowers on your table and like the coasters and maybe the paintings on the wall and everything like that. So these are the 3 different levels. Now let's go break it down into how we actually learn and connect this analogy with the foundation of a house, the building of a house, the completion of a house that makes it a home. Okay, so let's take a look at this first part of the analogy, the house, the foundation of the house. And then we compare that to knowledge, and that would be basically the foundational knowledge that builds up the building blocks of learning. It's the first level. And so if we give an example of this, it would be like for people who speak English as their first language from an English-speaking country. They have the foundational knowledge to be able to form a sentence using the correct grammar and vocabulary that will get their point across. That would be the foundational knowledge of English. If we take coding for another example, now I personally don't know how to code, but I would imagine that the foundational knowledge is how to, type or create the codes in order to get something to work. That would be the foundational knowledge. And then we build up from there as we go on to the second level. All right, and the second part of this analogy is the walls and the furniture and the electronics, basically the things that, and the framework of the house, of course, basically the things that make the house livable, right? So this is a comparison to knowledge. It's basically the knowledge that really help you to become a master at whatever it is that you're learning about. So like, for example, running, we all know how to run. After we, get the ability to walk and then we learn how to run as well to keep ourselves balanced, this would be the foundational knowledge. And then the supplemental knowledge The stuff that makes us even better at running would be how to work on our form and our breathing, right? In English, it would be like learning new vocabularies or how to use metaphors. If we want to make our sentences understandable, all we need is the foundational knowledge with some simple vocabulary. But with the supplemental, we need to build upon that vocabulary and the metaphors that we use and the analogies that we use and the way that we speak. This is all the second level of learning. And then for coding, as I said, I don't really know how to code, but I would imagine this would be making more complex codes. That way you can make applications or games or things like that. Basically, to get you above the level where everyone else is at. You're mastering it. Maybe not becoming an expert at it, but you're mastering it and you know how to produce something of value. All right, and the third level is the fine and the extra details. It's like the accessories of the house, the pictures, the flowers, the thing that makes your house invitable and presentable to your guests. And so if we compare this to knowledge, like I said, it's the fine or the extra details that you don't necessarily need to know to be a master at the thing that you're doing or the thing that you're learning about. But if you have these extra and fine details, that means you become an expert. And if you know how to articulate these particular fine and extra details, you're definitely the expert on this topic or this activity like running. These are the Michael Jordans or the Stephen Kings of the world that know their craft so well. They know the ins and outs of everything. This is what makes the person the expert. They know those fine details. They know how to tie them together, how to connect all the dots together, and then present it in a way that everyone is in awe. So this is the level that all of us really want to get to. And there's a way to get there if you practice hard. If you learn how to do this, if you learn how to practice all of these levels and you stay persistent and you keep on building upon the knowledge and the experience that you have, then you can get to this level. And you can practice at this level. You can practice learning about those fine little details and then trying to articulate that in the work that you do. So let's go on to the next part of this video, which I'm going to break down a little bit of how to get the knowledge like from the books that you read or from the lectures that you attend, and how to use the three levels to your advantage when you're reading through the books or the lectures or listening to the podcasts or watching YouTube videos. So let's get into the second part of the video. All right, so when you're reading through a book or you're going through an online course or you're taking a lecture, it is a completed house. The presenter or the author gives it all to you. They give it to you in a structure. That way you can, if it's a good one, right? They give it to you in a structure that you can understand and you can filter, but you have to have the tools in order to do so. So if you've got a book like this, you've got to read through these pages of the book, and you're not going to get the complete picture until you finish the book. You're going to have to take notes about the foundational knowledge that you need to know. You're going to have to take notes about the supplemental knowledge, and you're going to have to categorize it in a different way, in a different spot from the foundational knowledge, or in a subcategory of the foundational knowledge. And you're going to build up the knowledge like you would build up a house. And then all the accessories. These are all the little details that you don't necessarily need to know if you just want foundational knowledge on the topic. But if you want to become an expert, you have to build upon that knowledge and find out those fine extra details that will make you like Michael Jordan, or like Steve Jobs, or like Stephen King. The examples of all those people out there that are masters. No, not just masters, but experts at their craft. They have practiced really hard. They have written really hard. They have played really hard. And they have built up the knowledge and the expertise and the fine details. That way they can become the experts. So this takes time. Of course, this takes time, right? Reading all these books takes time. Practicing takes time. Writing takes time. Learning how to master or become an expert at your craft takes time. But if you build and build and build, then you will grow and you will become an expert. There's so much more to this topic. Note-taking, for example. I have created several videos about my note-taking strategy, and I believe that if you watch that video, it'll help you to understand my note-taking strategy a little bit better and help you to be able to implement the foundational knowledge, the supplemental knowledge, and the fine extra detail knowledge into your note-taking app. So I highly recommend checking that video out. So yeah, this is the end of this video. I hope you learned a whole lot. And yeah, just always remember this analogy whenever you're reading through books, listening to a podcast or watching a YouTube video or attending a lecture or even doing an activity. Remember, how can you reach the next level? What are you going to do and what are you going to learn and what knowledge are you going to focus on and what ideas are you going to connect together to get yourself to the next level? We're all striving for that. No matter who you are, we're all striving to become better. And so apply this knowledge, check out that video, make sure you are subscribed to the Bookmatic channel. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like these. Also follow my other social media accounts such as Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for more valuable content. Thank you for watching again, and I will see you guys next time.